6:30, we're going to bring the public hearing to order. I'll turn this over to Bruce.
Tonight we've got one item on the public hearing agenda. It's for Ordinance 2012-04, an ordinance to amend the 2011-2012 fiscal year general fund budget. The advertisement was in the Daily News Journal on March the 15th, 2012, and basically this ordinance is moving funds around within the general fund regarding the Motorola lease for radio equipment. If there's anybody that wants to speak on this item, please come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and make your comments. So at this time we'll open it up if anybody would like to speak on this ordinance. Does anybody like to speak on this one ordinance, 2012-04? If not, we'll close the public hearing for this item.
Closing the meeting. We'll start back at 6:45 for citizens' comments. First person to speak is going to be Sarah Boner. There you go, Sarah.
Thank you. There has been much controversy over the parking on our city roadways because of signs that state City Ordinance 15-604 prohibits parking on city roadways. This particular ordinance does not, however, in my opinion, prohibit parking on city roadways. It simply prohibits parking in 11 different ways. If parking was illegal on our city roadways, the sign would read no parking or no parking anytime. It wouldn't mention an ordinance at all. Since some of you are not opposed to having an ordinance that allows parking on city roadways in order to alleviate parking in the lawn, and also provided the road is big enough and your mailman can get through several various common sense issues, I would like to request the board simply not change the existing ordinance. If it does need to be changed, I'd like to request a special workshop in which the common sense issues can be discussed before passing it. This issue has been going on for almost a year now. It's really quite old. One of them has already passed. The property maintenance regulations has already passed. There are a lot of great people that live in Lake Forest. They got nice homes. They really, really like their neighbors. It's always that small handful that give everybody a hard time, okay? I'd like to see some compassion, some fairness, some different ways for people to just get along out there. People, they can't even sell their house because of all the bad publicity we get here lately. There has to be a change. And it's not our city employees. It's not them at all. You couldn't ask for better people. You couldn't. Thank you for your time.
Daniel doesn't appear to be here. Jackie Laws.
Good evening. I only came down because I read about this in the newspaper. I've never done this before. I'd like to say hi to each of you. I'd just like to say from a personal aspect, this affects my family. We only have a one-car driveway, and I have a sister that works for TSA through Homeland Security at the airport. She has to be up at 3:30 in the morning, which will require one of us in our household to literally have to wake at that hour to switch out vehicles for her to be able to get out because we have someone else coming in from work after the fact. I hope that y'all will take that into consideration when y'all are considering to pass this or not. That's my main concern with this. I understand other people's issues with their house values and things of that nature as well. But to me, it's a thing of who takes precedent. Is it the thing of the homeowner does in regards to, okay, their rights are ours. We have kids, 5, 8, and 11. the rooms are right next to each other, so they're going back and forth. They have to wait for school. At times, we wake them if we have to do this, because we have had instances we've had to, but I'd like for it not to have to be a 5-day-a-week occurrence that we're having to wake at 3:30 in the morning just to switch vehicles around because of this new law. We have a neighbor 2 doors down from us that actually owns 4 cars. They purchased their property 3 or 4 years ago. They had no idea this law was going to pass. They have a 1-car driveway as well. Are they going to be required to sell their vehicles? I mean, it's things like this that need to be taken into consideration before y'all pass this. I appreciate all of y'all's time and for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next is Linda Ortiz.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm not a speaker, and I'm a newbie too. I agree with both of the speakers, and I just feel like law enforcement has enough to do, and I think they're doing an awesome job where we are, Laverne, and especially where we live, over in, I don't even know where I live, I'm so nervous. Lake Forest is a good place to live, and we don't hear a whole lot about it on the news. We hear about negative things occasionally, but we've been there going on 9 years, and I haven't lived any place that I loved any better than this. I just feel like there are too many ordinances. I know some are necessary, but don't fix it if it isn't broken. I just feel like from DC on down, we are just bombarded with new rules and regulations, and soon it's going to be against the law to be, you'll be arrested for being ugly and for ugliness and and mere existence. I appreciate your time and appreciate the job that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to close the citizens' comments, and we'll start back at 7. It's April 3rd, 2012. We're going to call our regular meeting to order. We've got enough people for a quorum. Alderman Waldron's going to do the prayer. Alderman Green will do the pledge.
Please rise. Let us pray. Almighty God, we come to you with bowed heads and humble hearts. Thank you, O great God, for giving us your Son, Jesus. Let us pray for our brave men and women that is serving our country around the world and here at home. We thank you for the freedom that we all enjoy in this great country. Guide and give us strength in these difficult economic times. We pray to keep us all safe in this year of 2012. In Jesus' name, amen.
Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I need a motion to approve the minutes from March 8th.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Alderman Green. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion. Let's start our department reports. Got the fire department.
Vice Mayor, Alderman, for the month of March 2012, had a total of 65 calls, consisted of 3 structure fires, 9 fire alarms, 2 vehicle fires, 2 grass fires, 3 hazardous materials calls, 21 motor vehicle accidents, 15 medical calls, 9 emergency miscellaneous calls, and 1 non-emergency miscellaneous call. The average response time for the month of March 2012 was 3 minutes, and the total water consumption for the same month of 2012 was 21,235 gallons.
Any questions?
Questions?
Thank you. Next, we've got the police department.
Vice Mayor, Alderman, good evening. You have copies of the report there in front of you. I'm not going to go through and regurgitate all the information. There are some things that I'll point out in just a second, but I'd like to remind you that April is Autism Awareness Month, and that's very important to us as emergency services personnel, whether it's fire, rescue, police, EMS. We see many children today who have autism, and we know that that's something that affects many, many families. And some of these younger autistic folks are sweethearts. We had one at our DARE graduation at Roy Waldron that came to me and asked me my name and my birthday. And I told him my name and my birthday, and I was told that in 2 years, if I go back, he will tell me my name and my birthday. It's awesome what some of these children do. And we have another young man that was here last year. Jonathan came, and this Christmas, Jonathan, by taking up money from people, donations, provided, and his money too, provided a table as big as this table here for the children of Laverne. It was absolutely awesome. So please remember this, and you get a chance, go to a website and read a little bit more if you don't know that much about autism. We had a pretty good month. Things decreased. If you'll look, the total calls for service decreased. One of the reasons for that, that's not a pure number, because some of the things that had been counted before were fluff. In my opinion, they weren't actually calls for service, so we've gone through and modified that, and you'll see these numbers throughout the year a little bit decreased. But the offenses reported are correct or true preliminary numbers for the month of March. They will change a little bit, but if you'll notice, the residents burglaries and business burglaries overall are down some from last year, or down compared to March of last year. And going through it, if you will, today, the actual arrest, the persons arrested were decreased a little bit, but so did those offenses in the month of March. Go ahead and go to the year to date, because I think this is more a true picture of what's going on this year. The total calls for service again represent some cleaning up of the numbers themselves. If you look at the offenses reported, though, they have actually decreased, as you can see, from 897 to 749 for the first 3 months compared to the same period last year. One of the things that is a concern are the assaults are increasing. If you look at the burglaries, you see a pretty good decrease there by 2/3 almost in the rest of its burglaries. The domestic assaults or trouble over on the right-hand side are down very slightly. Thefts are about the same. Vandalism has decreased some in the first 3 months, so we account that hopefully to maybe some visibility and some things that are being done out there. But overall, things look like they're getting a lot better. Go on to the next one. You can see the arrest mirrored the actual results of the offensive that are reported to us. The number of traffic stops have decreased slightly. The number of actual citations issued have increased slightly, but looking through those, quite a few of those are, I don't know how to say this appropriately, but better citations. There are not a lot of throw-in things like I have seen in the past. The folks are out there working and doing a really good job. The DUI arrests are down a little bit this year, but it's not because they're not out there looking. We're utilizing the money for the additional overtime for alcohol saturation. And we'll get into a little bit more a little bit later if we need to, but as you well know, we went ahead and bid on that vehicle in Pink Hill, North Carolina for SWAT, and we were able to secure that. I apologize to Phyllis because I think I made Felicia sick, because Felicia told me about 20 minutes before the bidding was over, she said, "I love this, but I'm a nervous wreck," because she was afraid she wouldn't get in the last minute. Any questions?
Do you see any difference maybe in the AM and PM statistics?
Not much at all. We're still seeing the overwhelming majority of our calls on the PM shift, which is 2 p.m. To midnight.
One reason I say that, the employment at Interchange City is down. You know, a while back, you know, they estimated 40,000 people, and that's down. I didn't know if that would show up in statistics.
To be honest with you, I don't know what the traffic counts would look like, because we don't have a really good way of handling that except moving trailers back and forth, the speed trailers. But we can't really say traffic's down a lot. But if you go out there and try to drive on Waldron Road, I don't think it's just because of the construction. I think there's a lot of traffic there, period, anyway. And a lot of traffic's coming through, especially when things happen on the interstate. You can't get to Murfreesboro Road unless you go a back way.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next, we've got the rescue squad.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Aldermen. How are y'all doing tonight? On our report for March, we've had 1 medical call, 27 vehicle accidents, 2 traffic assists, 62 others. We've had 2 business meetings. We've had 2 training sessions, 10 public relations, 4 others, and we've had a couple fundraisers, totaling 116 missions. Total miles was 2,630. Man hours was 1,950. This average response time was 3.96. We have a country ham breakfast. It will be on April the 14th. This will be the last one until Old Timers Day.
Any questions? Thank you. Codes.
Vice Mayor, Alderman, for the month of March 2012, the Codes Department issued 1 single-family dwelling permit, 3 commercial permits, 11 miscellaneous permits, 2 sign permits, 5 garage or shed permits, 2 other permits, for a total of 24 permits. For complaints called in, we responded to 25 tall grass complaints, 5 junk cars in yard complaints, 25 trash complaints, and 56 other complaints. Impact fees, we took in $884 in road, $311 in park, $112 in police, and the total monthly revenue with impact fees was $9,894.14.
On your complaints called in, any of these repeat complaints? Were they the same complaint, called in more than one time?
Some of the properties, as far as the tall grass, are most likely houses that are vacant.
Do you get back to the people that call these in and let them know what's happened?
Michael Jenkins does if they ask for a return call.
Okay.
He's our municipal codes officer.
Anybody got anything else? Parks and Rec?
Vice Mayor, Alderman, good evening. Got the March monthly report in front of you. Of note, down here in the visitors in the park section, the vehicle counter was 14,468 for the month of March. Using the formula that we've got, gives us a total of 36,170 visitors through Veterans Memorial Park in March. That's huge. That's huge. Of those, the 8,800 is what our guess was for visitors in the park this weekend for the Easter egg hunt and opening day. Again, anybody that was in the park, it was filled to capacity, but it was a great time. We had the egg hunt, like I said, opening day. I'd like to thank Ricky McCormick and the fire department for all the work they did in getting the complex ready. Chief Walker and all your folks were out there for the crowd control, traffic control. Greg Skinner, help from Streets Department, and your other folks, and Alderman Broker for his work on during the egg hunt. Also of note on this, the senior citizens activities. Donna was tickled to report that 726 visitors to the senior center. That is the highest total that she has ever had. The previous high was 593. So that's huge, and we talked about it in budget. That place has taken off. And thank you to all, Vice Mayor Farmer for your recommendation for the additional monies for them in that program. Lastly, the surplus equipment that we put on Gov Deals to pay for that second mower, we were able to sell enough of the equipment to pay for the second mower and then some. We had the golf cart and the reel mower both had a reserve on it. It did make the reserve, so we were able to keep those two pieces of property, two pretty high dollar pieces of property that we were able to hang on to and still pay for that second mower. So it was just a great week or a great month rather for Parks and Recreation. Any questions?
I just agree with you as far as police and fire. This last weekend in the park, it went off without a hitch, and I thank everyone as well. Nothing but compliments all weekend.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Finance?
Good afternoon, Vice Mayor and Alderman. Tonight's financial report represents year-to-date through February. For the general fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $3.8 million. In our local sales tax, we have collected $2.4 million, which is $154,000 better than budget and $121,000 better than prior year. In our State Street Aid Fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $274,000. In the Stormwater Fund, year-to-date, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $236,000. And in our Water Sewer Fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $890,000. The second page represents our balances in our bank accounts. And in the third page represents a comparison to prior year. In the general fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $3.2 million. And in the water sewer fund, revenues have exceeded expenses by approximately $1.99 million. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Library?
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Aldermen. In March 2012, we checked out 9,275 items. We had 9,152 patrons visit the library with an average per day of 339. We issued 37 new juvenile cards and 120 new adult cards last month. We ran 51 programs in March with a total attendance of 1,179. And 2,923 people came in to use our computers. So as I mentioned last month, next week is National Library Week, and we have a couple of exciting events planned. Yesterday, on Monday, the 1940 U.S. Census was released, and we're presenting a program next Thursday, April 12th at 6 p.m. to help all you amateur genealogists learn how to use it. This is going to be a really valuable program. The census is not yet indexed by name, so it'll give you information on how to find your relatives in the census without having that helpful index yet. Also, for a couple of years now, we've done a treasure hunt for our younger patrons. This year, we're going to involve the whole family with our first family scavenger hunt. Entry forms and scavenger hunt lists will be available after 2 p.m. on Saturday, April 14th, and can be picked up from that time until 8 p.m. on Monday, April 30th. The entries are due back at the library by 7 p.m. on Tuesday, May 1st, and don't worry about us keeping your personal belongings. We're going to check them in and then give them right back to you. We're awarding valuable prizes, yet to be determined, to the first, second, and third place teams, and they'll be awarded at our scavenger hunt party on Saturday, May 5th at 2 p.m. And all the rules will be on the entry form, so be sure to pick one up. I have to also mention our new language database. It went live a little more than a week ago. We have, I'd say, 26 to 30 people already signed up for it. It offers over 100 languages, several ESL options, free downloadable apps for your iPhone, your Droid, whatever mobile device you have. You can actually slow the speech down so you can hear it a little better. Very valuable in learning a foreign language. It keeps track of your progress. You can study as many languages as you like. All you need is a library card. It's free to use. So I expect you all to be multilingual next month, and there may be a quiz. Are there any questions?
Thank you. Water treatment plant?
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Aldermen. What we have is our monthly report for the month of February of this year compared to last year. Won't bore you with all our testing parameters. We're very much inside the limits. The one difference we're going to notice now that we have our lagoon cleaned and the membrane unit working fine is the 2012, the gallons processed versus the gallons delivered. It's delivered is actually the water going out to the distribution for the public. It's a little bit higher than what we took in because we're able to recover the water from the lagoon that comes back in. And the difference is about 1.3 million, and the Paul unit actually put out about 2.5 million gallons last month. So it's working really fine until last Thursday. We had a major valve blowout on it, but we're pulling all our resources to get it back online as soon as we can. Our maintenance for the month of February was at a little over $31,000 for the month, which leaves our balance for the year at $57.25. Our quality calls were down to 2 this month, for February. Our rainfall, the reason we track that is because the water is getting warmer, the lake's getting warmer. All the leaves that fell in through it for the fall are going to start to turn over and produce gases, and that's when we get kind of that sulfide smell, earthy, or like a boiled egg smell. So we keep an eye on that, and that also warms up the water in the system itself, and it makes some more complaints coming in about older smelling water. Our cross connection units are up to about 712 units. This month, for March itself, we started a sort of a survey form that goes along with billing and when they change addresses, and it works part of our investigation in swimming pools and everything else is going in. And for the month of March, we had about 240 surveys that were filled out by the customers, so it's going really well. The new pumps that we got expecting 2 more for our chemicals this month that'll come in, and we'll have all of our system updated as far as the chemical injection. They are really working well, so we should see some more accurate numbers on our chemical reporting. And that's about all I have.
Any questions? Thank you. Public Works?
Vice Mayor and Board, good evening. I'm going to run through these pretty quick. I'm not going to hit them all. Chipper calls in the month are up 22 to last month. Pickups up 50 to last month. Workhouse program man hours are up 82 to last month. A lot of that in weed eating. We picked up about 90 hours of weed eating that we just didn't have in February. We installed 12 more signs than we did in last month. Asphalt tonnage is up 15 to last month. Coal mix bags are down. Conversely, because as asphalt hot becomes more available, we go to that. It's a better product for pothole repair. Mowing, we had 159 hours in the month, just 6 hours in last month. So the yard work is hearing on us for good for a while. Work orders 98, that's down 31 in the month, but we stayed busy on the general duty stuff there. Again, primarily yard work and cleanup with the workhouse program. You can see some special projects there. We're paving some roads and cutting the grass. Pardon me, the Fleet Maintenance Department report is under construction. As you know, we replaced the mechanic mid-month, so we're allowing him, with Gloria January, our coordinator's help, to construct a more thorough and accurate report so we can start trending some important data for you here in these settings. We'll have a better report for you next month. In sewer, we saw 107 work orders. That's up 5 to last month. Sewer department overtime was at 40.5 hours. That's up 26 to last month. You notice there about 6 lines down a water break, so what we did there is we used some of our sewer guys in a water situation in terms of cross-training. So we're just building bench strength in the department. Water department, 127 work orders, that's up 3 to last month. Gallons not sold, 68,170, that's down 500,000 to last month as we account for water loss during water main breaks. So we had just as many breaks, but not to the degree in terms of volume of water loss. Water department overtime is at 57.5 hours. That's down 100 hours to last month. You know, I like to talk about wins. Sewer in March, we eliminated the McFarland Point lift station altogether, along with its associated maintenance costs in the department, telephone service, odor control, pending rehab at $150,000 to $200,000, and electricity costs. I've got to thank Jerry Zimlow, sewer supervisor. He's here. This is the work of his and his crew to better the system in terms of cost for us. We located and repaired rainwater, groundwater inflows to the sewer system, bettering our fees to Metro Water Services. We found inflow at International Boulevard where our building is, and also on Bill Stewart, and repaired those in place. We hired a new operator, Jeremy Buskus, to the sewer crew. They're not full staff, a supervisor and 7. And Jerry's repair center, based on you guys' approval a couple of months ago to build, is at about 75% construction complete, okay? In the water area, we fixed a main break on Waxman Drive with just 4 team members in just under 4 hours. Certain situations don't call for all hands on deck depending on the degree of the leak or the break. I challenge all my supervisors, and in this scenario, Robert Brooks, to stage the equipment and the parts so that we don't have to have the all hands on deck approach of old. It's a better cost position for the department, for the city. March was our first full month of a 2-shift operation in water, and we talked about it a minute ago. We reduced 100 hours of overtime to February. So there's a huge cost savings there. We hired a new operator there, Roberto Cicandino. He's working well thus far. He's a recently separated Marine. We promoted Justin Saunders out of the water department to the mechanic role this month. And I think that goes to point out to you that our teams are progressing, as this was an internal move from water to mechanic, and I've got to give Robert credit for getting his guy ready for that role. We have set the interviews and actually begun now to fill Robert's remaining vacancies. 2 interviews today, 2 tomorrow, and we already have what we think are 2 good choices to fill those roles. In the streets, wins in the month, the cleaning of the Davis Franklin cemeteries. The chipper service got caught up, and the yard work got caught up too. Really in record timing, and we're short 2 folks in the streets, so we stayed very busy there. Hoover will be paving again tomorrow, but they've already hit Waldron Road on the south side of the interstate, Dick Buchanan, the entire stretch from Murfreesboro Road to, is that Holland Ridge? Is it, what is it? Stones River Road. And Laverne Lane is being ground as we speak, along with 3 streets over in Woodland Hills. They're being milled. We purchased a new asphalt roller in the trailer and in fleet. Again, wins in the month. We hope to have many items to talk about next month, including a new monthly report, direction regarding potentially a wireless work order system to have our mechanic in the shop, touching a computer and loading our maintenance log live. And 2, I hope to give direction to Phyllis and to the board soon as to whether or not we want to approach fiscal year 2012 with 2 mechanics on staff versus 1. If we have 2, my thoughts are we take things like oil changes back instead of sourcing those out to Valvoline at what likely is a greater cost. That's my report for the month.
Thank you. Any questions? Human Resources?
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Aldermen. I want to thank you for allowing me to go after my distinguished colleagues, because I'm pretty sure I can beat their time. I wanted to let you know the number of postings in March was 5. We had 2 for 2 seasonals, so our applicant count was low, 46 for the month. We had 2 terminations in March, about mid-March, both in Public Works, both dealing related to performance type issues. We had, as far as closed litigation cases, We had a very old case, the City of Laverne versus Griffin, that was dismissed. And the one case, the one new litigation, George Matthews versus the City of Laverne, that was open this year, has been closed and been rejected, as rightfully it should be. We had 2 liability claims, one of them dealing with the storm damage in the park due to lightning, and 1 vehicle issue. We had 36 appointments in care here, our new clinic in March. That number is down because we're past flu season, et cetera. I want to remind this board and the employees here that not only do they handle chronic illness, but they do health risk assessment. They'll help us with smoking cessation, with weight management, with exercise management, and that's both through webinars and one-on-one coaching as well. So that's the benefit. That's proved to be pretty cost-effective in managing our healthcare costs. We don't have real numbers to report for March as far as claim dollars, so I estimated those to be an average of what happened in March. I'll tell you those numbers are high. Unless the last week comes in high, we should be far less than that. Our numbers through the first 2 months were about 442,000 in claims. We reduced slightly the number of employee claims as well as the number of dependent claims and the amount of coverage due to a few other things. Things that are happening for the city coming up soon. We begin our first online meeting for our online application process. We've got a tentative date of May 1st to enroll that. We think that's going to be great for the city. It's going to be great time saving, and I think that's going to be great for those that are applying. They'll be able to apply for a position and mark other areas that they're interested in without having to submit an application for each time. They'll be electronically notified, and we'll be able to track those and also do a better job of setting up jobs and what minimum requirements are, supplemental questions are, et cetera. And also, we're in the midst, we just began effective today, an RFP for our property and casualty insurance. So we're expecting that to be up about 10 days, and we'll receive bids for that's insurance for vehicles, for liability, for workers' comp, et cetera. So that's a big hit to the city each year. So we're hoping to be able to, after the bids, to come back and do substantially better than what we did last year. Any questions? Thank you.
Well, at this time, we're going to do presentations. It's going to be a group effort. Myself and Alderman Broker. He's more familiar with these Laverne Middle School children.
You want to call them all up, Chris, or how do you want to?
Yeah, we'll just call them all at once.
Tell you what, I'll read them and you can hand them out. Tonight we're lucky to have Laverne Middle's all-county, various athletes from Laverne Middle that made all-county in various sports. Quite a few of them, so it looks like they've done pretty well. But so if you're from Laverne Middle, you come on up here and we'll read each of these individually. And there's quite a few of them, as I said, so we'll get through them as quick as we can. And I'll also try not to screw up some of these names. So, first one is Jason Alvis. Dang, you got big, didn't you? Thank you, sir. Jason Alvis, for being named to the All-Rutherford County Middle School boys basketball team representing Laverne Middle School. The city hereby congratulates Jason for his hard work and desire while representing our community in our county. Given this 3rd day of April, 2012, congratulations, sir. Darius Sparks. Darius Sparks, for being named to the All-Rutherford County Middle School boys basketball team representing Laverne Middle School. The city hereby congratulates Darius for his hard work and desire while representing our community and our county. Congratulations, sir. Someone's going to have to help me with this one. Shamayim, there we go. Shamayim Roberts, I'm sorry. All right. For being named to the All-Rutherford County Middle School girls basketball team representing Laverne Middle School, the city hereby congratulates Shamayim for her hard work and desire while representing our community and county. I didn't botch it too bad, did I? Esther Menavar for being named to the All Rutherford County Middle School Girls Soccer Team representing Laverne Middle School. The city hereby congratulates Esther for her hard work and desire while representing the community and our county. Congratulations. Micah McDowell for being named to the All Rutherford County Middle School Volleyball Team representing Laverne Middle School. The city hereby congratulates Micah for her hard work and desire while representing our community and our county. Congratulations. Aaron Jones for being named to the All Rutherford County Middle School Football Team representing Laverne Middle School. The city hereby congratulates Aaron for his hard work and desire while representing our community and our county. Congratulations, sir. Malik Gray for being named to the All Rutherford County Middle School Football Team representing Laverne Middle School. The city hereby congratulates Malik for his hard work and desire while representing our community and our county. Congratulations, sir. Mark Pruitt for being named to the All Rutherford County Middle School Football Team as well, representing Laverne Middle School. The city hereby congratulates Mark for his hard work and desire while representing our community and our county. Congratulations. I'm just going to read it out. We have one that is not here. It's Keontae Gray for being named to the All Rutherford County Middle School Football Team, representing Laverne Middle School. The city hereby congratulates Keontae for his hard work and desire while representing our community and our county. Thank you. We have a round of applause for them all.
The next one's going to be for Miss Maddie Smith. For winning the Miss Preteen competition, the City of Laverne hereby congratulates Maddie for her hard work and determination in achieving this award. She's the Miss Young Laverne. She's going to Texas for the Young Miss America pageant. Chief, you want to come up and do these? These next ones are the Employee of the Month and the Chief's Awards. They're kind of together. I'm going to let him talk on these. But if we could get A.C. Davis, Paul Fralix, Darrell Lane, and David McGowan up here.
I'll be in trouble with Jerry if I don't get this. He'll fuss at me. We had an incident occur a few days ago in Veterans Park. There were 4 park employees who were there working and observed some things going on. There were 2 carloads of young people there.
They said your mic ain't working.
It's not working? Is it not working now? Hello? Can you hear me now? One of the things that employees do or do their jobs and go out. We don't usually expect them to be in a situation where they face things. We've had people working in water billing, the meter readers, that have been attacked by canines. And we've had other employees that have been injured in various ways and so on and so forth. But normally, there's not a situation arise like this one. This was one where there were 2 carloads of young people who were actually fighting. And they were not a part of a group that you would consider a really good group. One thing led to another. A phone call was made to the police department. Information was given to officers who were on the way. We were able to get people there in time to secure that area, and we were able to take 8 young people into custody. One of these men actually helped recover a valuable piece of evidence. It was a .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun with a fully loaded magazine, one in the chamber, and the hammer cocked back. That's how close we came, folks, to something that could have been a very terrible situation in our park. But thanks to these men stepping up, stepping out, and I'll read the not only are they employees of the month, but they're also each getting a Chiefs Award of Excellence this month. And AC, since it's Arthur C., AC kind of starts first, so I'll read AC's, and the others for David and Paul and Darrell say basically the same thing except for the change of the name to protect the innocent. For your willingness to, quote, step up to the plate, end quote, no pun intended, I assure you, and taking a stand that led directly to the apprehension of suspects involved in an extremely hazardous situation at Veterans Memorial Park. I present you this Chief's Award of Excellence. If you had not taken the quick action to call, provide vital information, and assist in the finding of critical evidence, a potentially deadly incident may not have been prevented. Your actions were definitely above and beyond the call of duty expected, given this 3rd day of April, 2012.
Way to save the day with a reading. We appreciate y'all saving the day with weed eaters against guns. Thank y'all. Appreciate your weed eater work.
These gentlemen really did step up to the plate, I'm telling you. That was a situation that could have gone very bad very quickly. And we're really proud of what they did. There are some folks in the department that do specialty things, and a lot of them you never see or hear about. But there's some very good professional quality people who work in the Laverne Police Department. This is one that I'm going to recognize tonight that has gone very far in the specialty they have. And Christine Keys, would you step up, please? Christine is our crime scene evidence supervisor, basically, even though she's not called a supervisor. It's what she does. She oversees everything concerning crime scene work and everything concerning evidence. And Christine is one of only, 3, I think, in the state of Tennessee that is certified by federal agencies to work a crime scene involving a weapon of mass destruction, which is unusual, it's unreal, and that's in the whole state of Tennessee. And we have a lot of agencies that have a lot more than 51 sworn personnel in this state, so that's something that is tremendous. Christine's gone through a lot of training. She just completed her annual certification with the International Association of Identification, yes, IAI, which is a very difficult test, an extensive test, which gives you an idea of her capabilities and her skills. And Christine, you're hereby honored as the Non-Sworn Employee of the Month for March 2012 as a result of your dedication and professionalism. As one of the most highly trained and skilled crime scene technicians, evidence custodians in the Southeast, you are an asset not only to our agency, but to our city and state. Your professionalism, integrity, and your attention to detail in the collection and proper storing and disposal of evidence uphold the high standards that are set by our profession. Most law enforcement agencies strive to reach these high standards, but never succeed. In this, you have succeeded, given this 3rd day of April, 2012. Thank you. Now, I'm doing something just a little bit different this month concerning the Officer of the Month. Most of you have seen this and understand what we do, and we recognize people who are doing something that's kind of special and in addition to regular duties. Well, the person I'm going to recognize tonight is a sworn member of the Laverne Police Department, but not a paid member. John Boone, would you step forward, please? For those of you who don't know, Laverne has a reserve officer program, and it has not grown a lot over the past couple of years because several of the reserve officers have left and gone full-time with us. And we have some very good young officers now that are working that began in the reserve program. One of the things that Johnny and I have discussed over the past few months since I got here, that we're going to ramp up and we're going to get aggressive and get our reserve officer program going again and get some folks in and get them trained. Now, he has to go through the same background check, the same physical, the same psychological exam, etc., as a paid member of the department. He's also sworn. He's armed. You see him in uniform, and he currently holds the rank of Reserve Sergeant. That's kind of the Navy rank, I guess, isn't it? That's hard for an old soldier, too, right? John is a Vietnam vet. He's a very good man. He lives here in the city of Laverne, and he's been a reserve officer, and he works literally hundreds of hours per year for nothing. And he's always here. Every time we call, he's here. So, presented to Reserve Officer John Boone, in honor of your unwavering dedication to the Laverne Police Department and the citizens of the city of Laverne, I hereby honor you as the Officer of the Month for March 2012. You volunteer your time to serve as a reserve officer for each city court date. You work alongside regular officers on patrol, and you respond to assist with special events. He's always there for those special events, no matter what it is. And all this without one single cent of remuneration. How about that, Counselor? Good work. You are the epitome of a professional reserve law enforcement officer and a tremendous asset to our agency. In honor of your service and dedication, I hereby bestow upon you this honor given this 3rd day of April, 2012. Thank you. Stay right here. Now, I've got something else I want to read. This is a first, too. This is a certificate of promotion presented to Reserve Lieutenant John Boone. In honor of your unwavering dedication to the Laverne Police Department and the citizens of the city of Laverne, I hereby promote you to the rank of Reserve Lieutenant and designate you as the commander of the Laverne Police Department's Reserve Officer Division, effective this 3rd day of April, 2012.
We're going to start with the old business. Got the second reading of Ordinance 2012-02, an ordinance to amend Title 15, Chapter 6 of the Laverne Municipal Code regarding parking. You need a motion to approve or deny.
I'd make a motion to amend.
Got a motion to amend?
I was going to ask Bruce if he would explain that to everyone. Maybe that would be better. What do you think, Tom? Do you want to do it?
Sure. What my motion to amend would be two things. And again, no knock to the Codes Department, how hard they work, but 15609, I agree with a couple of the, actually all the speakers in the audience in this regard. I understand, again, the intention, what Codes was doing, but parking in the yards right now, without giving residents any alternative, without being in violation of this ordinance, I do not believe that I could vote for it. I'm asking to drop 15-609 and also on 15-604. I respectfully disagree with Ms. Sarah Boner as far as right now I do believe. In fact, I believe it's the thoughts of our city attorney and assistant city administrator, and I'm hoping pretty much everybody's. I mean, it is illegal to park on the street right now. What is wrong is the verbiage on 15-604 really can make you ask yourself a lot of questions in there. So I'm asking just to change the verbiage to something very similar, such as parking is prohibited on city roadways, where there is no questions what we've done here. It is illegal, it has been illegal, and this will keep it illegal, but it will clarify. So I am just asking for those two amendments to this. I think it's a minor change. We are allowed to do this. So to drop 15-609 and to basically clean up the verbiage to 15-604 that just says parking is illegal on city roadways.
I'll second your motion. Now we can have any discussion?
I would like to say the 15-604, the amended version does say, except as provided by section 15-608, no person shall park a vehicle on a city street at any time. Now that 15-608 is the section that allows for a permit for parking, which is handled through the police department. So I think we have cleaned that up. I've talked with Evan on that, and we both feel that this would help clarify this issue. So,
if I could just further, I would love to see we continue working on this ordinance. And again, it is well-intentioned what we're trying to do here. I just believe right now we have a lot of problems. I don't have a problem. I'll say it publicly. I don't have a problem working out an issue if it is parking on the street, something that gives somebody an alternative that parking on their front lawns. One woman I spoke to last month came to me and said, we bought a house on, I believe it was Bill Stewart, and basically it was a starter home. And the child was 5 or 6 years old. They bought a second car for the mother. The child now is because the economy is stuck in their starter home, they have a third car. Where do we tell them to park right now? So, but there are issues. Number one, some of these roads are so narrow that we may or may not be able to get emergency service vehicles through. And something else I brought up again that people don't think of is the U.S. mail. Right now you have 18 rural carriers. USPS has like it or not, has a policy that these rural carriers do not have to get out of their vehicles. So if I parked in front of your driveway or in front of your mailbox, you may not get mail. And it may be something that we could change with the post office, but as I said to several people, and we all know the post office doesn't act very swiftly. So I hate to say that, but it doesn't happen. But there may be some things down the road we can do and give people alternatives where they don't have to park in their yards. I would like to see us keep working on that.
Go ahead.
You done got a first and a second, water might done been running the bridge, but instead of, the stake of rushing anything, I'd really like for us to run this thing back through planning and get everything right before we rushing into something that we might look back on and say, well, we should do something different. That's my input.
And I would agree with that. We're not changing anything here. We're basically keeping everything the same. The part that we brought in to change, which was parking on the yards, we're asking to have that taken out. The only thing we're doing is clearing up the verbiage that already exists in 15604. So I'm with you, Dennis. We're not really changing anything here. We're just clearing up some of the verbiage that's in there.
Any more discussion?
Not for me.
Do a roll call vote. Alderman Waldron?
No.
Alderman Green?
No.
Alderman Broker?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Tie vote, the motion to amend the ordinance fails.
Okay, we need another motion to either approve, deny.
Do what?
We
need to do another motion, correct? To either
Right,
approve it,
if you
deny
want
it.
to amend the ordinance, or if you want to deny or approve the ordinance, we need another motion for that.
If we want. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to deny the ordinance as written.
I'll second that one.
Yeah.
Do a roll call vote. Alderman Waldron?
Aye.
Alderman Green?
Aye.
Alderman Broker?
Aye.
I vote aye. So I guess we need to send this one back.
I do want to just clarify one point here why we can. I mean, nothing's really changed. We voted down 15604 amendment just to clarify the language. Nothing's really changed. So I would like us to look in the future to clean up that verbiage so there are no issues, potential issues down the road.
That and it is against the law to park on the street still at this time. We'll move on to the second reading of Ordinance 2012-04, an ordinance to amend the 2011-2012 fiscal year general fund budget.
I make the motion.
Got a motion? Got a motion to approve?
Mm-hmm.
A second.
Got a second from Alderman Broker?
We're not changing anything, we're just moving some money around and changing the verbiage. Is that correct?
For auditors? Cleaning it up for the auditors?
Just kind of a housekeeping deal.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We've got a motion to approve amendment number 1 to the agreement with the Laverne Rescue Unit Incorporated regarding the use of the police department boat.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that. Any discussion? We get this worked out?
The boat, now, is to give the boat from the police department to the rescue squad, right?
Police department doesn't want to
Have you
keep it up?
checked into Evan, can we do that?
Yes, sir, through that means you can.
Everybody's in kosher with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Need a motion to consider a settlement offer for the stormwater maintenance bond for Water's Edge subdivision, section 9.
I'll make the motion that we settle.
If I could just make one comment on this too. I was hoping to have the language of the settlement and release agreement to present to you today that would go along with the settlement offer. The lawyer who represents the surety company has not gotten back to me yet with that paperwork. So if you do decide to approve this settlement offer, it would probably be wise to approve it and give the mayor the authority to execute the release of whatever paperwork comes along with the settlement, contingent upon my approval as to form.
Okay, so I need to back up. Okay, I make a motion that we give our mayor the authority to accept all the papers when they get here, as the attorney says.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, we've got the consent agenda items. All items under the consent agenda are deemed to be non-controversial and routine in nature by the governing body. They shall be approved in one motion of the governing body. The items on the consent agenda will not be discussed. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I didn't vote.
Do a roll call vote. Alderman Green?
Aye.
Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderman Walden?
No.
And I vote aye. New business. Appoint board members. Stormwater appeals. Got a vacant spot. Looks like Tracy Hart.
I'll make a nomination to accept Ms. Harp.
Got a nomination to accept Ms. Hart.
I'll second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next. Resolution 2012-04, a resolution to write off water department bad debts. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve? I'll second it. Discussion? Do a roll call vote. Alderman Waldron?
Aye.
Alderman Green?
Aye.
Alderman Broger?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Need a motion to appoint an interim city administrator. I'll make a motion that we defer hiring a city administrator for this fiscal year so we can use the money in the budget and appoint Bruce Richardson as the interim city administrator.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second? Discussion?
One discussion I have, in the past, when we appointed an interim, anything, it's drug on for a year or so. I think it's very important that we have a full-time city administrator. And Bruce has already got his plate pretty well full with assistant. He's already assistant city administrator and recorder. And I'm a real firm believer that we need a full-time city administrator right now. That's all I've got to say.
Well, I think things are going pretty well right now. We save that money, we can use it in the budget. And Bruce, but
It will stay in the budget. We will get a full-time.
I think until we're ready to pay for one and spend the time looking, Bruce has been doing it. Him and Fred together do it.
I think there's a lot of issues. I think there's criteria that we may talk about changing, salary ranges we may talk about changing. I agree with you, Alderman Waldron, that it definitely would be a benefit to the city. But I also agree with Vice Mayor, until we're ready to pay, we're going to get what we pay for, I believe. And I think if we're going to hire one, we hire a top-notch one, and not just roll the dice. So.
Any more discussion? Do a roll call vote. Alderman Green?
Aye.
Alderman Broker?
Aye.
Alderman Waldron?
No.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Need a motion to approve a proposal from CTI Engineers Incorporated to conduct a water system evaluation.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve? Do we have a second?
Second.
Alderman Green, second. Any discussion? Do a roll call vote. Alderman Waldron?
Aye.
Alderman Green?
Aye.
Alderman Broker?
Aye.
I vote aye. Need a motion to approve an agreement with NES to participate in the Peak Saver program.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Need a motion to approve the purchase of the replacement SWAT vehicle on Gov Deals. Chief, you want to talk about this? Do we need to get a motion first, or?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion? Approve?
Second.
And a second?
This is the same vehicle that I showed you the photographs of and described in the workshop last week. It is a 1996 K3500 chassis with a 7.4 liter gas engine with a covered utility bed that is sealed with space in the rear to store equipment, compartments around it as well. It only has 13,642 miles, I believe it is. And we were able to bid and get the vehicle for $8,550.
And this will get rid of the van? You won't have to
We will
paying to
get
fix
rid
it
of the
anymore?
old raised roof ambulance van that we spent so much money on. It's still leaking, and the HVAC unit that was put on it last year is down again. So that's a considerable amount of money just with that in and of itself.
Everybody pretty well know, how I feel on buying older vehicles, but I've looked at this thing and think it's in steply good shape and well maintained. Only 13,000 miles, and just the back end of this thing, if you bought it new, would run you more than what y'all giving for the whole thing. So I think y'all done well. Appreciate your effort, Chief. You done a good job on this one.
Thanks, sir.
Any more discussion?
And Vice Mayor, I do want to note that the total price was $9,191.25. That's with the administrative fees that went to govdeals.com.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. A motion to approve the amended contract between the City of Laverne Emergency Communications Network Incorporated for the Code Red notification system.
Motion.
Mr. Vice Mayor, I guess I'll speak to this. I was on the phone today with the General Counsel for Code Red, and we addressed a couple of concerns I had about the contract. She made those changes, which I'm really pleased with, so I think this contract's in a good form to approve. I do want to mention one thing, though, about the contract that Code Red was unwilling to budge on, and I don't think it's a deal breaker. Y'all ultimately have to decide whether you think it's a deal breaker or not. But there's no provision in this contract regarding venue, and in short, venue controls where a legal dispute about the contract is actually heard. What I generally like to see in our contracts is that any legal dispute involving a contract in which the city's a party be resolved in this county. It's easier on the city and less expensive. In this case, this company is out of Florida, so they were just not willing to agree to litigate things here in Rutherford County, but they left it blank. So it could theoretically be litigated here if there's a dispute, or it could be litigated in Florida. To the extent it's litigated in Florida, all that would mean for the city is that we'd have to hire an attorney in Florida. If that's not a big deal to you, and I'm not saying that it should be or shouldn't be, I just want to make you aware of it. Otherwise, I have no problem with the contract.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Alderman Broker.
The big concern I had with this code red is Rutherford County. It says Bedford County got on board. What brought my attention, why didn't Rutherford County get on board?
Rutherford County is currently looking at Code Red as well as two others, and Code Red still has a strong lead, to my understanding, with Rutherford County, the town of Smyrna, and the city of Murfreesboro. They've just they've not opted in at this point.
If Rutherford County opted in on it, it would cover the whole county, but would the cities still have to hook on to it individually?
Yes, sir.
Even if the county was countywide?
It's no different than when we were looking at outdoor well and water systems. We've been working with the same type of thing. Town of Smyrna, Eagleville, city of Murfreesboro, and then of course Rutherford County rural areas as well, all had to opt into on their own.
But this is just a 6-month deal here, right?
Yes, sir. This carries through the end of this fiscal year, and then we have the option to move forward for a 3-year. I think it's a 3-year contract at that point. And we'll probably bring that back in May for consideration.
Just to clarify, though, we've already approved this. This is just approving this contract.
Yes, sir.
So we voted on it once and we've approved it. We're just voting on the contract here.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're down to the mayor and alderman comments. Alderman Waldron?
Well, I had a bunch written down, but since it's between the chief and everybody else, they done spoke everything I had wrote down. But I would like Miss Nancy, she come a long way in a busy schedule to talk about SLAC. If I could give just a couple minutes to her, I'd be happy to do so. She explain a little bit about
I'm okay with
SLAC.
The rest of the board is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You want to go up to the podium?
Good evening. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for your support of SLAC. I'm the newest board member of the Smyrna-Laverne Assistance Coalition. I am the secretary. And I listened to your budget hearings in March, and I think there was a little bit of question about whether the grant money given either by private donations, by civic organizations, by the town of Laverne, or by churches in Laverne. There was some question whether that money stays in Laverne, whether it solely benefits the residents of Laverne. I've been a resident of Laverne for 45 years, and I want you to just rest assured that every penny that is given to Smyrna-Laverne Assistance Coalition from Laverne, be it private, church, civic, government, stays for Laverne residents. I just wanted to clear that up if there was any question. And I want to thank you. When I joined the board in January, there was $7.69 left in the Laverne grant log. $7.69. And they were making a sign to put up in the window that said, if you are a resident of Laverne, we're no longer able to help you. That really saddened me. It saddened me a lot to be a resident here. And I said, I can't sit behind this desk and tell anybody, if you live in Laverne, we can't help you. So I went out and I gathered up some money from some folks that I know to see us through the end of the fiscal year. And then when I watched the hearings, when I heard them, I was so pleased that you had not only continued to support, but increased your support. I can't thank you enough. Now I can proudly sit there at that desk and write those checks. Today I wrote 16 checks for the city of Laverne residents that come to us in their most desperate times. And we were only open one day a month. Now we're open 2 days a week to help the Smyrna and Laverne residents. We only help them once. It was once a lifetime. Now it's once a year. And we don't help everybody that walks through the door, but if they qualify, we're very proud to be able to help the Laverne residents. But I just wanted to clear up any confusion that anybody might have whether that money does benefit the residents here. It certainly does. Every penny. We have a completely separate, we have one bank account, but we have separate grant logs. And I just wanted to clear up any confusion or question whether that money actually hits the Laverne residents. And I can assure you, I write the checks. I know I was at the water department today paying 6 bills today, and then I wrote 11 checks to NES for our Laverne residents. So I just wanted you to know that the money does benefit the Laverne residents.
I appreciate y'all letting me.
Thank you, and thank you for letting me just pop in.
She got here late and couldn't sign in. I appreciate y'all letting me do this.
Thank you so very much.
Alderman Green?
No. I just hope everybody has a happy Easter and a safe one.
Alderman Brogan?
Again, echo that as far as Happy Easter. And again, I want to go back to last Saturday and just say how great that was and what a great job all the departments did. Also, just to our mayor, hope she gets well soon. Mayor had surgery today, so I keep her in our prayers. And
Well, I appreciate y'all letting me stumble through this, and I will get back at the mayor for making me do this tonight.
You did a good job, Chris.
Thank y'all, and we're going to close the meeting.